We get multiple updates surrounding the St. Louis Blues, with one prospect absolutely dominating the QMJHL. We get a goaltender shining overseas, but the biggest update comes today from Jim Montgomery, as his master plan has been revealed, with one player getting high praise from the coach, revealing exactly what the team plans on doing. We're going to break down all this, the updates around the prospect, and this one storyline that Jim Montgomery has made a point to emphasize on the St. Louis Blues. We're going to break down all this and so much more in this episode. You're not going to want to miss it. Before we get into that, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone watching. We just want to give a shout out to helping us reach 4,500 subscribers. Once again, we're going to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers, or push it to that. So make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. It means the world, and in return, we'll give you daily updates from all around the Blues. But with that, dears, we got to go straight into this. And before we get into Jim Montgomery and this one key storyline, we're going to break into the prospects in the Blues system. The first one coming in, Armstrong. And the biggest thing is the St. Louis Blues lost goaltender Colton Ellis on waivers to the Buffalo Sabres, but now they have a goaltender pushing through and showing very good success in the European League in Sweden's second tier pro. What is your thoughts, dears? Just looking at this, we know drafted by the St. Louis Blues, 6th round this past draft. What is your thought on his success and just how he's developing as the Blues are looking at possibly a goalie for the future of the organization?
Well, if ask Blues fans over the course of the last week what the strong suit of the organization is, maybe it's not goaltending, but realistically, right? And looking at it, it is. And it was with Ellis as well, but obviously he was claimed off waivers and he's now a Buffalo Sabre. But, they do have some guys waiting in the weeds and, continuing to develop, whether it's overseas in Sweden, like Armstrong, like you mentioned, or some other guys, the AHL team as well. That are kind of waiting in the weeds that, when these contracts do expire, they're going to need somebody to take over those reins. So a lot of these guys do look good. They're continuing their development, but there's one other player I want to get to that is absolutely tearing up the QMJHL, Mark. And this guy is Justin Carbonneau. We were talking about him a lot during the summer, and it's kind of toned down a little bit since he's been sent back, since training camp when we were covering the preseason. This guy is ripping the Q apart. I mean, this is unbelievable. He has way less games played than the league leaders in the league, and he's destroying the league. I mean, he's almost tied with some of these guys. Look at the goals race. He's one behind, and he's played far less games played. He has a hat trick. He had 2 goals in 40 seconds to open a game last week. He's ripping apart this league. He is way too good for this league. And I do wonder if, this is a more broader topic, but I do wonder if the CHL and the NHL come to a new agreement where guys of his age group can actually go to the AHL, because he doesn't belong there. He's, piecing little things of his game together on the defensive side, and he's going to continue to do that. But in terms of the offensive output, he is going to absolutely smash everything he did last year, Mark.
And I think the big thing is looking at Carbonneau. We've seen last year a very good season, 46 goals in 62 games, but having 9 goals in 6 games, he's blowing through this league, wanting to prove a point, and I think you hit the nail perfectly on the head. This is a player that might not be fully ready to get into an NHL action as a full-time player, but looking at him, he's also way too good for the Q to continue playing there. So I think the AHL, if this rule change comes into effect, or next season when he hits 19, he can actually join the AHL. There is no doubt that he is going to make his pro debut in the coming years, and Justin Carbonneau is continuing to impress. As we said, a hat trick in last night's game. We've seen the 9 goals in 6 games, 2 goals in 40-something seconds. Everything he's doing is pushing towards being an elite goal scorer. We've seen it during the preseason. We've seen it during camp. Everyone raved about this kid, and just seeing his development, seeing how close he is in goals. I mean, just looking at the team itself, you can see 10 games played with 10 goals. Justin Carbonneau sitting just behind with 1 less goal, but 4 less games played. Everything this kid is doing, and including the goaltenders. Listen, we love, no pun intended, the performance of all these prospects throughout the system. Let us know down in the comments, who is your favorite prospect? What's your thoughts on Carbonneau? Will he have a 50-goal season in the Q? Will he have a 50-goal season in the NHL? But Darius, let's go straight into the biggest thing surrounding the St. Louis Blues. We're going into a game tonight versus the Dallas Stars, a team that was undefeated before blowing a lead to the Vancouver Canucks. So not an undefeated team anymore, but the St. Louis Blues have to make a big push. You did a full video yesterday speaking on the line changes. We're seeing Jordan Kyrou drop to the 3rd line, Holloway bump to the 1st. Everything is changing as Jim Montgomery is working his way into getting this team back on track with the goaltender stepping up. And as you can see on the defensive end, the biggest story around the team was the fact that Logan Mailloux was scratched. Now, going further into this, Jim Montgomery had an awesome quote. We're thinking the long game with Logan Mailloux. Something needs to reset and just go up in the press box and watch the game. We're going to work with him. We have a plan. And when he gets back in the lineup, I don't ever expect him to come back out. Darius, what is your initial thoughts on this quote coming from Jim Montgomery?
Like you mentioned, I covered this in a video yesterday that they did make this move, but this quote had not come out yet. He did not talk to the media yet when I made that video. And, I was looking at the lineup and I'm saying, the Kyrou thing, that's definitely a demotion. Yes, he's still with Shen, but it's definitely a demotion. But the biggest story here is Logan Mailloux, as good as I think he's going to be, and he's going to be a fine NHLer, is definitely a problem right now. And if he continues to lose confidence because of his play and the team continues to lose this way, first of all, you can't continue to lose this way as the team. And second of all, you're going to gutter his confidence for the rest of the season. So something had to be done. And I was talking about how now, he's going to be a scratch. He's not playing tonight, and Matthew Kessel's coming in. And I absolutely love that quote from Jim Montgomery. Give him a second. I didn't even think of that yet, but it's so obvious. Give him a second to watch a game from the press box and see the game from a different point of view and maybe things that he's, lacking, and just see it from, again, a different point of view. So I love the quote. They're going to take their time with him. He was the last one off the ice from practice yesterday. He stayed out for a long time after everyone else was long gone working on certain things, as you can see here. So I like that. He is going to be just fine, but they had to do something now to not absolutely sewer his confidence, because that would ruin the rest of his season, right? He has to get going here. So Kessel is used to this system. He's played under Jim Montgomery before, so he's going to come in. I feel like things will stabilize a little bit. Hopefully they pick up a big win here. Obviously, the Stars are not undefeated anymore. Everything can be made right if they win tonight, of course, in the eyes of the fans. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch. But the biggest thing here is Logan Mailloux and how they continue to build him up. And one thing, and I want your thoughts on this too, Mark, is, and let us know in the comments below. One thing that he was talking about is they're going to take their time with him. He could miss multiple games here, but they're going to work on certain and specific things with him. And he's expecting that when he does come back into the lineup, he will be fine. The team will be fine, and he won't come out of the lineup ever again unless it's an injury.
And I think that's the biggest thing is, listen, Monty is giving as much credit to the kid as he can. He's going out to help him in every situation. He wants to get him in as an everyday NHLer. He said, I don't ever expect him to come back out. I think the full plan with the St. Louis Blues team is to keep Logan Mailloux on the roster for the foreseeable future. Yes, he's going to be scratched here and there from maintenance days, maybe an injury, or if you just want to take him out to get a new face in against a different matchup if it's a heavier team. But I do expect this little break for Logan Mailloux to kind of reset the kid, a very young player, 22 years old. And I do really like this tweet. We've seen that he was out on the ice doing extra ice time, but coming from Leah, listen, go check out her work. Awesome stuff on Twitter as well, but I really respect him for putting in the extra work. Fans are trying to make him the scapegoat, but he's still very young. Yes, Bolduc is having a hot start, which is not helping the look of the trade, but I think the biggest thing is a positional need, a good skating defenseman that has offensive talent, a guy that's not going to shy away from a hit. I think the value of this is a lot higher. And listen, every player, especially young guys, go through cold spells. So I think at the end of the day, Darius, looking at Mailloux, he will get a couple of days off. We're going to see the St. Louis Blues hopefully bounce back, get a big win streak going, win against the Dallas Stars tonight. And once things start going in the right direction, the team's trending in the right direction, Logan Mailloux can step right in with less pressure. But guys, what is your thoughts on this? What is your thoughts from the quote coming from Jim Montgomery? Let us know down in the comment along with your favorite prospects. And speaking on comment, let's go straight into comment of the day. The whole conversation can be switched quick and self-respect reinstated with a win tonight. That's for sure. And I think that's the biggest thing. Going on home ice, seeing them take on a team that is very good, 3-1, I think the Dallas Stars are. Taking this win tonight would be huge confidence, not only for the fans, but the team itself. Let us know what you think the score of the game is going to be down below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Once again, we just want to give a huge thank you for everyone watching. If you made it this far, comment 6, 7 or something like that down in the comments. But that's been it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and all that. I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and take care, Blues fans.